consciousness is when it identifies with this personal self in a loop. It comes from a point, goes out into experience and comes back to that same point. And that point it's standing in the identification of, or in the perception of being this person who's the experiencer of what it's going through. And yeah, that's basically how we live. And it's not meant like that. Consciousness and what it really is completely free. It's completely free and able to expand into any reach, into any space, into any dimension, into any reality, and in a way that it gets lost in it. That's what we really are. And that's what we can be in form, in the experience of a human person. But it's so different from how we live. How we live is that once this identification with that person has come into place, which defines our consciousness as something, as somebody, then we do have experiences of all kinds, but we always come from that point and bring any intense, great, magnificent experience, so even including a spiritual opening or a really profound experience of depth of feeling, or a profound philosophical mental insight and exploration of reality through our mind, or anything of the kind, an intense physical experience, an intense sexual experience, a profound dream we had, any of that, we bring it back to that person. So we kind of gain experience, but in that gaining of experience, we solidify the loop. We solidify the affirming and affirming and affirming that we are this person that experiences, that we are the experiencer of what we're moving through. So it's kind of moving energy and giving energy to all the wrong thing, basically. Because it's illusionary. It's not what we are. What we are is consciousness, unlimited. That's what we are. What we find ourselves in as unlimited consciousness is this person and this life situation and this moment that we're in time and in space, as a particular entity. But what that is meant to be for is not for creating and recreating a loop. It's for integration of consciousness through form. It's the ability of consciousness as unlimited beingness to be reduced to a particular experience, a particular point, a particular timeline, a particular story. And through that and in that be a movement of expansion, which does the very opposite. So instead of limiting consciousness while we're going through from experience to experience to experience, so we live a life of ongoing experiences that serve a limiting of ourselves to ourselves. We can go through the same life and the same personal incarnation and the same amount of experiences that we're moving through as a consciousness that there is so much of a blossoming, of a realization, of an opening, of an becoming, of a soul evolution that can take place through being in a body, being in human experience. And that's the purpose of it. Not the loop. The loop is the ongoing patterning of illusion. And it is in a way intrinsic to material form. Because let's say a dog, he will always come back to where he's at, because he is just conditioned to be a particular patterning. An ant is a particular patterning. A tree is a particular patterning. So it's kind of made, we are made in a way that we are conditioned to be always only that, what we find ourselves in. But what we really are, which is not a human, not reduced to that form in a way a dog presently is. A dog can also come out of its loop. An ant can also come out of its loop. A tree can also come out of its loop. The earth can also come out of its loop. It's all potentially possible. But for that to happen, it's completely dependent on us as human beings to come out of the loop. Because we are the only ones who can really do it. We're the only ones who actually don't have to be in a loop at all. And then instead of a loop, it's more of a breathing. It's consciousness that breathing in, expanding, going out into experience, into whatever reality it's exploring, and then breathing out, and yes, coming back to this person, because that is the point where we find ourselves in, but in a breathing, living way, in a way that is one with consciousness. One, it's a movement of oneness that isn't bound to that point, but that this point of this person is kind of a point that makes expansion and evolution possible, available in ways that consciousness itself, formless consciousness, doesn't move like that. It's consciousness in form that has the capacity of that catalyst, being a catalyst for conscious evolution and for the evolution of consciousness itself. It's the opening of an explosion of reality. And as we let it through, we let it through us, through this point, through this person, through this body. We let it all the way through. We let everything through. We let all of consciousness just move through. And we become like an output of consciousness. We become a light that shines. And with every experience we make, it doesn't make any difference whether it's a nice experience or a terrible experience. Both of them can awaken depth of consciousness that we shine out into the all of reality. Whereas the loop kind of holds back from all of reality in this person point. Open. Completely open. Let your consciousness completely open. And magic beyond imagination will be the reality that you're in, and be that reality, the reality that you give out.